back live with Andrew Bolt with the Bolt Report.
Foreign Minister Julie Bishop has had a surprisingly low-key campaign for someone once touted as one of the Liberal stars. She'll wish she'd stayed low-key after going on 3AW today without knowing the details of her own superannuation policy, a policy to hit transition to retirement accounts with a new 15% tax. Something she should have known that host Neil Mitchell has been very critical about and would raise with her too, as he did.
Well, the 1.6 million is
no, not the 1.6 million. The transition. But I'm not asking about that. I'm asking a transition to retirement. Are you aware of the transition to retirement scheme?
Well, I'm certainly aware that we have one. Yeah.
How does it work?
Well, Neil, this is obviously a gotcha moment.
Joining me are Nick Cater, columnist for The Australian and head of the Menzies Research Centre, and Bruce Hawker, Labor's former campaign guru. Guru Hawker, first to you, that was a car crash.
It wasn't a very tidy moment, was it, for Julie? And she better be careful. You know, the way they're going at the moment, she might be on a transition to retirement scheme herself soon. Look, it is the bane of all politicians' lives, though, having to memorise the detail of all these policies. Not that I really want to get into a big defence of her, but you know, it's happened to the best of them, and it'll continue to happen.
No, keep going. You're in unfamiliar territory here for all of us, so keep going.
Well, they all do it from time to time. But I guess it goes, though, to a more important issue that Mitchell was talking about, and that is the unhappiness, probably felt most keenly amongst people who'd be more likely to vote Liberal in this election about the superannuation policies that the Turnbull government's introduced.
That's right.
That's the problem that they've got. And it just keeps messing up their message.
Well, I think there's a second problem here, No, Bruce, there's a second problem. Addressed to you, Nick. Here are the Liberals selling a policy that their own deputy leader doesn't understand.
Well, look, curiously, Andrew, I found it essentially a very reassuring interview on two counts. First of all, it shows that Julie Bishop has not been thinking about retiring at all, which for Australia is very good news. She's a sensational foreign minister, as you know. Secondly, she's not wasting her time looking at how she can get onto this rort. I mean, she could. I mean, unbelievably, she is in the transition to retirement phase.
This is trying hard.
She could be claiming this 15% gain. But look, I mean, I'm against changing superannuation more than we have to. I'm against really trying to. Once people have invested in it, they need certainty. But this particular measure just isn't working as it was intended.
Yeah, the other thing too, it just highlights that superannuation is now so damn complicated that no one, not even a former lawyer and deputy leader of the Liberal Party, can understand the damn thing. You know, if you want super, you need to go and consult a lawyer. It's ridiculous. But I tell you what, Bruce, this was amazing to me. Julie Bishop also said something that simply is not true about her sweet relationship with Tony Abbott. Have a listen.
I did never have a falling out with Tony Abbott.
Really? When he lost the leadership?
That's right. I've been in touch with Tony. We've been in contact with each other.
Well, my goodness, Bruce. I mean, to be honest, they haven't had a conversation for 8 or 9 months. Maybe they've exchanged a few texts. Why would she pretend to something that clearly isn't true?
Yeah, I think that's when, the BS monitor in the Australian public just goes through the roof, because they know that that's not true, that there was a spectacular falling out, and it's happened on their side. It happens on the Labor side as well when there are leadership changes, as we all know. So I think you're better off in situations like that just saying, look, I had to make a call. I thought I was making the right decision by moving from Tony to Malcolm. Maybe I'm wrong in that regard. She might say in parenthesis, but I don't think she will. And that's the reality of politics. I think if she said that, people would not.
Just acknowledge that is bruised. You know, what's the point? I don't understand why you need to pretend what's blindingly clear to everyone, including Tony Abbott himself.
Well, that's it.
Bruce, I just got to ask you about this. You know, like here I've started, a couple of, pratfalls on the Liberal campaign. But the point is, I think the Labor campaign is faltering. The latest Essential Media poll today is the best for the government since the campaign began. The Coalition 51, Labor 49. What's gone wrong?
Well, I'm not sure that you can say that anything's particularly gone wrong with Labor's campaign. I mean, Feeney, yeah, that was untidy as well. But as a general proposition, so far, I don't think that Shorten's done a bad job. I think Malcolm's underwhelmed, but I don't think Shorten's done too bad a job. So, you know, 51-49, if you'd told me that that was going to be the number that Malcolm Turnbull would have, 51%, in the election campaign when he was first elected to the leadership, I would have said you're bonkers. I really felt that he was going to have a very healthy lead in this election campaign and a safe and soft win.
He may yet.
He may indeed, because it may change. But right now, I don't think he's having a very comfortable time of it. And I think it's because he's spending all his time, sorry, Nick, about this, but he's spending all his time talking about tax cuts for the business community, which is fine when everybody else is feeling some of the love and some of the benefits too.
I think that message... No, Bruce, I think that message is starting to drift through, that he's at least got a plan for jobs and growth, as they say, and the Labor Party hasn't. But listen, I've got to get Nick in here. Nick, this double resolution election was called to allegedly force laws through Parliament. We had to have it had to be to fight unlawful union power and embarrass Labor about its union links. And we've heard nothing about it since. You've done some work on those links, Nick. What have you found?
Well, look, I mean, the numbers are staggering. When you look at the donations from the trade union movement to Labor, it is huge. $53 million since 2007. You get unions like the CFMEU that are giving, they will give well into seven figures to help the Labor get elected this time. Now, we hear so much, don't we, from people saying, we've got to beware of corporate influence through donations, you know, which indeed we do. But I think there's no clearer example of people using cash donations to a party to buy influence than we say the CFMEU over this issue, or the TWU over the issue that nearly put 35,000 truck drivers out of business.
That's right. They're not giving money for nothing. Nick Cater,
hang on,
Bruce Walker, thank you so much.
Oh, come on.
No, I've got to go. We've run out of time. Otherwise, Alan Jones will be on my throat, mate.
Well,
I'll ask you next week.
Well, talk about those business connections.
Jones and Latham, but Paul Murray later as well. Don't miss him.